Hello, thanks for joining us again on this week's edition of our program Touch on ITV. I am Nneka Anchebe. On the program today, we shall be discussing on the security in Nigeria and that of America. And I have a person who is in the best position to tell us what he thinks or to shed light on our discussion today. But to introduce him after the break. Please don't go anywhere. Good to be back. In case you are just joining us, you are watching the program Touch on ITV. Like I said before the break, that I have with me on the program Chief Nwunne Titus Amadi. Chief Nwunne Titus Amadi is the President and CEO Nigerian Foundation, Michigan, USA. Chief, you are welcome to this program.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So, how do you see Nigeria for this visit?
My current visit?
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. I guess I'm grateful that the trip back to Nigeria was peaceful, and I've been opportune to meet wonderful men and women here in Nigeria. In spite of the challenges, they're doing their best to make ends meet. So it's a pleasure.
It's okay, sir. Many people are saying that security in Nigeria is somehow. How can you describe security in Nigeria from your own observation?
Well, the issue of security is one of the most important aspect of the service that the government should and ought to provide for all the citizens. So it is an essential part and component of a thriving society or community. So it's very vital, especially when you tie it with economic investment. It plays a vital role.
In which area, what area do you think our government should improve in security?
Well, when I look at security, it's not just in isolation. It's tied with economic investment, creating an enabling environment, as well as ease of doing business. If we have these three components, security, ease of doing business, and the enabling environment, it will attract foreign investors who we need much more here in Nigeria to help to jumpstart our challenging or almost rather derailing economy. Because under normal circumstances, no one would like to invest or do business in an unsecured environment because it has everything to do with life.
Okay.
Nothing exists without safety. So that's why security is of immense importance, and the government, working in harmony with other security apparatus, should take that issue very, very seriously. Globally, unfortunately, the Western world used to have these signs warning individuals that coming to Nigeria, you are at your own risk. So, and it relates to issue of security, kidnapping, robbing, and people feeling like their back is against the wall, and if one is in need, I don't know who to call. Because back where we came from in the US, they don't play with security. So it's extremely very vital. And if we are seriously want to jumpstart this economy, the government should do all it can to partner with countries that has perfected the security system, and I will do the best I can. I think it starts with working with Nigerians in the diaspora.
Can you briefly compare the security in America and that of Nigeria today?
I don't think it's comparable. But I think even security also, you find out it has something to do with lack of economic opportunity.
Okay.
Because if people are hungry, if there are limited employment opportunities for graduates, if access to affordable health care, social services, if the government is still heavily unable to provide those core social services, it impacts the security as well. Okay, people who have jobs tends to be happy, live a productive life, marry and have a family. Issue of bread and butter, economics 101. So we shouldn't really address the issue of security as an independent private entity, So it has to be all encompassing.
You made mention of the foreign bodies advising their people not to come down to Nigeria in terms of because of security challenges. And in which area do you think that our government, Nigerian government, can make more effort in order to, minimize such advice?
Okay. A specific example that constantly troubles many of us abroad is when you hear the issue of kidnapping, especially in the eastern region of the country, and or in the south. And I believe the government is aware or should be aware, and they should, put that under the highest maximum attention. We have law enforcement officials.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you drive from one road, it's just the harassing drivers on the road in the east, stopping every minute. Whereas when someone is kidnapped, nothing is done about it. Robbing of banks, nothing is done. So the government, both federal and state government, should find a way to commit serious funding to help to reduce. It's not going to ever be stopped. And as well as the issue of Boko Haram, that is terrorizing the northern part of Nigeria. It scares away Nigerian prospective diaspora investors. We talk about the investing in Nigeria. In some places they laugh you off, knowing that the issue of security remains a big challenge. The ease of doing business in Nigeria, the bottleneck, is still a major challenge, as well as other things. So the government should take it very serious. There is no way we can hide about it. And then working in collaboration with all the forces that be, then we begin to make some serious inroads. Because life, security is all about life. When people feel safe, they will move into such communities to raise children and be able to engage in a productive kind of setting. And it is very fundamental. Even it's getting so bad that people are scared of driving on the road. Okay, so government can set up stations, and just any minute we hear, they know those hot jungle spots that these criminal thugs need to hide, and then people are held at ransom, they have to pay. So the government should discourage paying, but then of course making sure that they are fighting this like war on terrorism. So it's of immense challenge, and we should do all we can to help to make sure that it's reduced. But I'm happy that we had the National Diaspora Leadership Conference organized by the federal government in conjunction with embassies of New York, Atlanta, and Washington ambassadors. The focus is luring Nigerian prospective entrepreneurs for economic investment in Nigeria. But we're challenging the government to make sure that they provide, once again, they're going to guarantee security, they're going to create an enabling environment, and then ease of doing business, so that when we bring these foreign investors to Nigeria, it becomes a win-win on both ends.
Okay, how will you grade the efforts of our security agencies?
Well, I don't think I'm knowledgeable enough to evaluate them, but based on public perception, they're still at a fundamental level, so a lot of work needs to be done, because when people feel safe in their communities, in their places of engagement, if Nigeria, for example, is one of the few countries in which American companies barely exist. Why? Relate to security. Corruption. Corruption is another major challenge. So at this point in time, at this age in our lives, a lot has to be done, seriously. The federal government can partner with the United States security apparatus. Just pay them and have them come here and show our people how to. If you are in US, all aspects of human engagement is under security. Anywhere you are, you can hide anywhere. And hence once is in a stress, hence you call 911. The law enforcement agents are there, to provide the needed service. Yeah, but it will take a while. But all hands on deck. It's not just the government. The citizens need to be educated. So when we work together, it becomes they can then begin to make a productive improvement in protecting life and guaranteeing other social aspect of living.
So many people are saying that the most challenge of our security agencies are lack of equipment. Do you barely agree with that?
Yes, a lack of equipment is also probably a challenge. But then why can't the nation partner with the experts? Okay, that's my suggestion. They need to partner with the experts, and they have the international security apparatus like in Europe, like in USA, come here. But the government need to, it's all about paying for what you value. Because you're not going to have foreign companies here without being able to compensate for their services. And then when they hear on the ground, then they can then help to train our Nigerian police and other security law enforcement agents. And then, of course, it will trickle down. But the key is understanding that because the security issues negatively impact economic investment in our society, because we have scared away foreign investors. And to really begin to change this derailing process, the government should treat it as one of as a national priority and do all it can do. I know it can do better, and I commend our President Muhammad Buhari, who has embraced diaspora, because any thriving nation, both in Africa, carries her diaspora along, because they have the abilities, the talents, as well as the funding necessary. Unfortunately, here in Nigeria, there is this thing, too much focus on oil. Everybody want to come into politics so that they can grab what they can. But last year, 2018, remittances from abroad, from Nigerians living overseas, surpassed the national revenue from oil. And that's a awakening call that it is about time our federal and state governors begin to reach out to Nigerians, over 15 million Nigerians abroad, and partner with them, lure them into the country, provide security for them, provide enabling environment again, and ease of doing business. This country will improve tremendously, because Nigerians in the diaspora, when compared to other ethnic groups, exceed expectations at all levels.
Well, we take a little break. When we return back, we will still continue with Chief Amadi, the President, CEO of Nigerian Foundation, Michigan, USA. We'll be right back. Welcome back. I remember that the program is still Touch on ITV, and we are discussing on the security in Nigeria and that of America. Sir, you have said a lot. And how do you think our business will thrive without diaspora?
I think what?
Our business in Nigeria will move forward without diaspora.
It will be very hard. Our nation, this country, regardless of ethnic origin, religious origin, racial, no, we one people. We are one Nigeria. So therefore, this country working with the federal government need to carry Nigerian diaspora along. For example, as the President and CEO of Nigerian American Chamber of Commerce of Michigan, USA, my chamber can bring a lot of economic good to this country. Because what we do is we have a rapport with governors in the United States. Okay? Yeah. All we have to do again is to link them with the governors here in Nigeria.
Okay.
On a bilateral trade relationships. Okay? So when these governors from Nigeria come to US, we link them to the governors. This, depending on the areas of their need, where they will probably something like they want to invest in road construction, do they want water treatment plants, anything they want contracts can be signed, and then this foreign American corporation will come down here and establish those businesses here, providing that they're not going to be shortchanged via 419 or paying bribe for land to do. So when we say ease of doing business, all those bottlenecks need to be, getting rid of. Because if we are really serious, and then those Nigerians who on a daily basis use the cyber to defraud foreigners, they are killing this nation, because they are, making us a laughing stock globally. The type of engagement that they are engaged in, trying to make a living, but the odd way, the inappropriate way. It keeps scaring prospective investors. Yeah. But hopefully, working together, we can make a lot of ends meet okay, well, we also have this program now. They have partnered with our chamber to bring International Institute to Nigeria. Yes. And can you imagine a situation whereby Nigerian students on a high school level will enroll in the cyber program, and by the time they finish high school, equivalent here is WAEC or school site, they will be endorsed with the American high school diploma, which is equivalent. This will open the world for them when they go to embassy, for example, to seek to get a visa to further their studies abroad. That gives them an added advantage. Okay. And with this program, selected students will matriculate in the United States. And we have the program deals with STEM, drone piloting. The drone piloting aspect can also be of immense value to our federal and state government, using that to spy on the kidnappers, where they are. They can be easily tracked, at ease. So when they know that there is no place to hide, it becomes a win-win and a much improvement on that web design and all that. So we want to bring a lot of businesses to Nigeria, but the government should work with some of us who have been on the front line, real diaspora leaders, identify us and work with us. Because having been in the U.S. for nearly 35 years, at this point of my life, all I'm trying to do is to return home and give back to our people.
Okay. Especially the youth.
Especially the youth, because at the end, life is measured in the good you did to those who can do no good in return to you. And that's what I'm about.
And finally, what's your advice to Nigerians, especially the Nigerian government?
Well, my advice to Nigerian people in general is to continue to be relentless in pursuit of their daily dreams, not to give up hope. Okay. And begging on our federal government, state government, the governors, senators, House of Representative leaders, all political leaders, to please treat everyone, every citizen the same. Because what is good for girls is good for gender. What is worth doing well is worth doing well for everybody. Every life counts. So affordability of goods and services should be made available to all, not just my brother, not just to my sister, not just to the highly connected, because at the end it's all about good government and good governance. You see, at times we tend to claim we practice democracy here, but it's just on the books, because real democracy is done a different way.
Sorry, before I leave you, how do you think we can practice democracy very well?
Well, a true democracy, the government at the highest level derives its authority to govern from we, the people, the common folks. So when such individuals at the helm abuse their power, they should get rid of that nonsense called immunity. Okay. A governor acquiring and controlling the state asset personally, and they're going to wait until when he's out of office. It's not done in the United States. If you are accused of crime and it's real, they will try you and remove you from office immediately. And you can be put in jail as well. And the justice process there runs smoothly. So the issue of judges who are corrupt, something should also be done to get rid of corrupt judges, corrupt law enforcement officials, and corrupt politicians. And I don't know why Nigerian politicians should be the highest paid globally. That's sad. That is really, really troubling. In a country where many are struggling to make ends meet, people seeing political, they will spend anything. They will keep somebody serving as senators or governors will do anything to come back into the Senate, and vice versa. So it's really troubling, and all efforts should be. I support any serious efforts to reduce the compensation for our political leaders, and find a way to check and enforce and control and inhibit or prevent those with corrupt records from running for elective office and yes. So that's what I have to say on that regard.
All right, just because of time, we must have to say a very big thanks to you, Chief Amadi. It's a pleasure being on this program today.
Thank you so much, and it's glad to be home and to be given this opportunity.
Thank you, sir.
Let's keep hope alive.
Wow. What is interesting, and I believe that you learned something reasonable from today's discussion. If you don't know, I am here with Chief Nwunne Titus Amadi. He is the President and CEO, Nigerian Foundation, Michigan, USA. He said a lot, and it's enough for us to learn. If you are there, you listen very well, you will pick something out of all he had said today. And this is where we wrap it up for today's edition. Join us again, same time, same station, for another interesting episode of this program, Touch, on ITV. Remember to send your comments or questions with the number that is displaying on your screen. And also, you can follow us on our social media addresses that is also displaying on your screen. Thanks for investing your time with us. And I am Nneka Achebe. Bye for now.
Kitoko sound.